gotta do to make sure we fortified as a unit, but don't leave me mortified. If you'd have kept it 100, a brother would be more than fine. Gave you more than time, gave you some peace of mind. That's why I got some qualms about the way you treated mine. You came close to doing damage to my third eye.
Before we start the video, I just want to let you know that if you want to try any of these series, you can head to WEBTOON. There you can find not only this series, but also many others that will make sure to make up for your year. And if you want to give me recommendations on what to read, make sure to join our Discord community. Without further delay, let's get into the top 10. Number 10 comes with The End is a Game to Me. Sean Sung-go, a shut-in NEET, experiences a drastic shift from gaming to a real survival game, where the only rule is to survive. He's a streamer with only one viewer, when one day everything changes and he becomes the main character of his own streams. While this is a fairly new work, the plot combines the gaming culture with surviving elements and, of course, a system per se. You could compare this to Omniscient Reader, where the main character is being watched by other people. So far, there is no saying if they are gods or something else. But when I say survival, I don't mean monsters or dungeons. It's a zombie apocalypse. Chapters flow smoothly, transitioning between Sean-go's gaming lifestyle and the sudden plunge into a real-life survival challenge. There's still many mysteries to uncover, and the work is still in its early stages, but I do think this could be a hidden gem, especially because of how the main character acts, extremely smart and also cunning, something you definitely need in a zombie apocalypse. Without a doubt, something you should try. In number 9 we have The Academy's Genius Swordsman. Ronan, the last survivor of a monumental battle against giants, receives a chance to alter the course of history. Sent back to the past by Grand Marshal Adashan, Ronan aims to enroll in Filian Academy and become the Empire's most formidable swordsman. While this is similar to many other stories, for the lovers of such genre, this is a great work with a good narrative and art. The main character is really smart, and his decision making is quite good, of course keeping in mind he does have future knowledge. While the main focus is indeed swordsmanship, magic also plays a huge part. If you enjoy a fantasy work with school life vibes, then this might be for you. Despite the similarities to other works, I think this one does a great job offering good competition, rivalries, and even some romance. Something you should definitely check out. Number 8 comes with The Top Dungeon Farmer. Sejun, an average person, is unexpectedly forced into a dungeon. Normally, he would start on the lowest floor, just like any hunter, but instead he is thrust into an unknown floor, and what's more, he's stuck. Juggling farming with quest clearing, Sejun relies on optimism, resourcefulness, and a group of adorable friends. This is definitely not your usual hunter dungeon work. While the setting of the world might be the same, this one is more focused on the farming and survival, which creates a really unique and engaging narrative. The stunning artwork mixed with the creative plot points and twists makes this a read extremely enjoyable to me. Like I mentioned, this work focuses heavily on farming, and on the main character figuring out why he's there and making the most of what he's provided with. But another point that I really enjoyed was his anonymity. While I don't want to explain further as to not give spoilers, I'm sure many of you will enjoy it too. If you're looking for a heavy-packed action series, this is definitely not the one. But in contrast, if you're looking for something more laid back, but still in the fantasy genre, then definitely go for this one. In number 7 we have Life as a Quack Healer. The main character wakes up in an unfamiliar world called Azul. Along with other people, he discovers that he's a healer without any healing skills. Faced with the challenge of lacking magical abilities, he embarks on a journey as a quack healer, using modern medicine to treat ailments and monster scars. The narrative unfolds as Sun Yong navigates this magical realm, facing skepticism from those who perceive him as a scammer until they witness his effective treatments. Meanwhile, he strives to uncover clues that will lead him back to his original world. Life of a Quack Healer is an intriguing story that blends the elements of isekai, magic, and unconventional healing. The protagonist not having a healer license because of the lack of healing skills adds a nice twist to the story, but it also makes it a bit repetitive in some aspects, where you have people who think he's a scammer and realize he's not after seeing his amazing abilities. The story then balances it out by adding some intriguing aspects and skills, leading to the main character facing monsters even as a healer. Without a doubt, a great read that I'll recommend to any of you. or because it's still in its early stages, at least bookmark it for later. Number 6 comes with Becoming the Monarch. This one is not exactly new for most of you, but I still feel like it deserves more recognition than what it gets. Becoming the Monarch follows Chris, a one-armed mercenary who, after swallowing an artifact, finds himself back in the past as a 15-year-old foot soldier. Armed with the foreknowledge, he's determined to change his faith, protect his friends, and rise to greatness. I rank this work among the best in the war and kingdom building genre. While it starts with a typical time travel cliché, the story takes a unique turn with engaging action, strategy growth, and an amazing protagonist. The main character use of future knowledge adds an intriguing dynamic even though not unique, and the character development through varying has an amazing growth arcs. The pacing and art are also amazing. Even though the start might be a bit cliché, the way the story progresses is definitely a blueprint for an amazing work that doesn't get boring after the initial stages. If you haven't heard of it yet, definitely check it out, and I promise you won't be disappointed. In number 5 we have The Constellations Are My Disciples. This work centers around Hyun Kim, an invincible warrior reborn 300 years later in the body of 17-year-old Joo Kyo-kin. Tasked with finding his former disciples, now known as Constellations, Kim embarks on a power fantasy journey. This one isn't exactly original per se, but it's without a doubt a standard and a good power fantasy. The protagonist is incredibly overpowered, and, at least for me, really funny. He has a rude way of talking to everybody, and that's because he didn't really want to be reborn or reincarnated and is tired of fighting, but now finds himself in a situation where he has to. There's also a female side character, but so far I don't see any problem with it, and it does add a bit of curiosity since the main character decided to train her. Not all of it is good news though. While reading this work, I felt like the chapters were shorter than usual, but then again, that might have been just my perception of it. Overall, if you're a fan of power fantasy genre, this work is without a doubt something you should check out. Number 4 comes with Surviving the Game as a Barbarian. I've recommended this work before on this channel, but I feel like it's such a great work and doesn't get enough recognition. Surviving the Game as a Barbarian follows An-Soo Lee. After spending 9 years on an unbeaten role-playing game, unexpectedly finds himself in the body of a barbarian named Bjorgen Hyandal. The plot follows as An-Soo navigates this challenging world, adhering to its laws and facing the harsh realities beyond the game's confines. I genuinely think this is a masterpiece in the making. The story is perfect, with well-developed characters, and an amazing world building that is sure to captivate anyone reading. The concept of a setup and payoff is also brilliantly executed. The protagonist's intelligence shines, adapting swiftly to challenges despite having game knowledge. The harsh realities, smarter monsters, and a lack of game screens add a realistic edge, making the story even more intense. Additionally, the touch of humor through the main character's scamming plans provides a delightful contrast to the dire situations. Overall, this manhwa is a must-read, and I highly recommend that every single one of you give it at least a chance. In number 3 we have Real World Mobile. Real World Mobile follows Gang-Hyu Choi, a typical high school gamer who receives a QR code from a mobile game from his favorite clothing game store. However, the seemingly harmless game takes an unexpected turn when Gang-Hyo's mission starts affecting his real life. From mundane tasks like drinking water to increasingly dangerous challenges, Gang-Hyo must navigate the game to protect his reality. This one reminds me a lot of The Gamer in various aspects, but this one adds a bit more because it's a mobile game. The fact that this is a mobile game app adds a lot of intriguing layers to the story. The modesty of the main character adds a relatable charm to the story, and the art complements the narrative, being also very similar to works like The Gamer. I feel like this is a very simple work, but also one that you can easily get hooked up on. If you are looking for something different, then I would definitely recommend you giving Real World Mobile a chance. Number 2 comes with Enrolling in the Transcendent Academy. Once again, I've recommended this work on my channel, but since then, a lot has happened in the manhwa, so it's definitely worth revisiting it. Enrolling in the Transcendent Academy explores a world where training at hunter academies is the norm after a century of dealing with monsters and gates. Seonjun Kim, an orphan aspiring to become a monster hunter, faces a setback until the mysterious Transcendent Academy offers him a chance to train virtually with legendary warriors. As Seo-jun levels up, he becomes entangled in a world of hunter academies, dungeon raids, and competitive tournaments. Yet, his increasing knowledge raises questions about his past and the secrets of the academy. Definitely an underrated gem in the world of Dungeons and Monsters manhwa. The protagonist's overpowered nature is balanced by a refreshing journey where he doesn't easily find his way to the top. And that's what's so good about it. You can actually see the progress of the main character through percentages even, which gives you a feeling of following along on his journey. The story also incorporates humor and delivers solid character background. Overall, it's a compelling read that I recommend to anyone seeking an engaging and well-rounded manhwa experience. And in number 1 we have My S-Class Hunters. My S-Class Hunters revolves around Eugene, an F-ranker overshadowed by his S-ranker little brother. After a tragic dungeon raid claims his brother's life, Eugene resets his timeline, intending to lead a quiet life. However, he discovers the ability to help others become S-rankers, leading him to build his own entourage of powerful metahumans. This is a great addition to its genre, offering a unique take on the dungeon trope with a refreshing emphasis on family dynamics. Not only that, but this time the protagonist is not overpowered or something of sorts, but he can help others achieve that. The story breaks away from the typical one man against the world narrative, and the diverse characters add a depth to the plot. The charismatic characters, each with their distinct personalities, contribute to the overall appeal. The manhwa manages to strike a balance between a kind main character, family dynamics, and an ensemble cast of intriguing individuals. My S-Class Hunters is a gem that deserves more recognition for its engaging storytelling and a well-developed characters. Now guys, this is the top 10 webtoon series you should read. Did you find any manhwa that you haven't read yet? Did you like it? If this video helped you in any way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any video. I wish you all a happy new year and that you get everything that you wished for. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.